Okay, welcome everyone to the service April 2025 proposed service changes public hearing. My name is Shannon Benson. I work in community outreach here at Valley Metro, and I'll be helping to facilitate this evening. So first, we're going to go over an overview of the service change process. Then we will go over the changes themselves. We'll give you some opportunities to submit feedback, and then we will open it up for additional questions and comments. If you are attending virtually, you can ask a question by selecting the question mark icon on your screen and typing your question in. You're also welcome to type questions or comments directly into the chat box at any time during the presentation, and I will read them aloud on your behalf. If you'd like to ask your question aloud, you can select the raise hand icon and I'll give you the ability to unmute. When you're done, please be sure to select the lower hand and mute your mic. So we are currently in the middle of our public outreach period, which started on Monday, November 18th and concludes on December 20th. Board approval is anticipated in January, and any service operated by Valley Metro will need approval from the Board of Directors, and City of Phoenix operated service requires Phoenix City Council approval. As I mentioned, board review and action is anticipated in January, at which point all approved changes will go into effect on Monday, April 28th. Changes are considered and reviewed regularly, and those that are approved go into effect each April and October. Service changes are made to address the needs of our ridership throughout the ever-expanding valley and help people get where they need to go as efficiently and economically as possible. Service changes can originate in different ways. However, they're most often determined through collaboration between Valley Metro and our city partners. The individual cities and towns typically have the best perspective on what their residents need and will make proposals accordingly. Input from the public is always considered and appreciated to help us refine and determine how those changes are going. As I mentioned earlier, the comment period will be open until Friday, December 20th, so you still have time to submit comments and/or complete the survey. Outreach messaging has gone out via various social media platforms, emails, and the physical signs posted at various potentially affected stops. With that, Aaron is going to discuss the proposed changes, starting with Route 515.
Great, thank you, Shannon. So the first change, as mentioned, is to the Route 515. This is the Fountain Hills Mesa Connector, provides express service on weekdays in the mornings and evenings from Fountain Hills Library at the Park and Ride to the Gilbert Road McDowell Park and Ride. This route is proposed for elimination. And the second service change is to the Route 531. That is the Mesa Gilbert Express. This route provides express service from North Gilbert and West Mesa to downtown Phoenix in the morning and afternoons on weekdays as well. This route is proposed to begin and end at Gilbert Road and Houston Avenue intersection instead of the Gilbert Park and Ride, as you can see on the map here. And this is related to a downtown revitalization that's going to be repurposing the Gilbert Park and Ride.
All right, thank you, Aaron. So there are several ways that you can still submit your feedback. You can reach us via email at input@valleymetro.org, or feel free to complete the online survey that can be found on the Valley Metro website. If you'd like to submit a comment regarding this meeting, please feel free to write it in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and I can unmute you. You're also welcome to leave a comment on the public input voicemail, which is 602-322-4479. And customer service is always available at 602-253-5000. And now we will open it up for any questions and comments. If you like, yeah. If you would just go to the mic over here. Yes.
Just parking, they just software. Bus has to turn around here. Turn around. Much better. You know, there's no handicap parking on that side. Across the street. You have to cross the street to get to where you park at. State lanes, 3 ways on each state, and no 20-second clock on it. And I have hip problems. I walk fast, I walk very slow. No way I'm gonna get across. Yeah. Very inconvenient. Make some other passengers. Certain changes.
Great, thank you for that comment. We will work with the town of Gilbert as we do for these service changes to make sure that we can make any accommodations that are available to us as far as your suggestions are concerned. So we appreciate your feedback there. Thank you. And actually, after the meeting, I have the map pulled up if you want to talk a little bit more with me on some of those suggestions. I'd appreciate it.
If they just try to send it to you, but have a hard time trying to get.
All right, I have a question from Matt. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
I didn't know if this was a general comment or if it's about questions just to ask that we have. So I apologize for not knowing the rules here.
No problem. You're free to ask a general question, or if you have comments specific to the 2 route changes, you can make those as well.
Yeah, so my question is about Route 531. And my question was, from what I understand, this is about a redevelopment, and that's why the original stop at that park and ride is going to disappear. My question is, why can't the bus still do a pickup from there, even if the parking lot is going to be redeveloped over the next few years? The distance, even though it's just within a couple miles, is still a lot for some of us. And to have that covered parking, especially during the summer, really important to have. So I'm curious why that's not a consideration to still do a pickup from the downtown Gilbert area, even if we don't have a big parking lot to use.
And so the question was with regards to if there was enough area in that current park and ride to salvage the covered parking?
Well, mostly just to have the stop still. I'd like to know why we can't still have a pickup there, because the new proposal is to start at the Sam's Club on the side of a busy road where it's like a very traditional bus stop. There's no shelter really, and there's really no official parking for us. So I don't know if Sam's Club gonna be okay with us all parking there. So that's a problem, but also if, like that stop where it's just a stop with no official parking, why can't we still get picked up at the park and ride location, even if the parking spots are going to disappear?
It's my understanding that the parking will disappear, but the roadway will also be reconfigured
Okay.
in such a way that's not going to be accommodating the bus any longer. And I think the town is still deciding on what the configuration is going to be in that area, but we were essentially told by the town that it wouldn't be accommodating, a bus essentially stopping there. So there wouldn't even be, I believe, a bus pullout for that. So
There are so many side streets that would be more than accommodating. I'm also curious about all the transportation money that was just approved and went to the town. Why isn't that being considered when trying to keep what is supposed to be a park and ride, literally for us to park our vehicles and ride in? So I guess my comment or my request would be to find a way to still have a pickup in the downtown Gilbert area instead of us having to go up a couple miles, which may not seem like a lot, but makes a big difference for some people who actually need to get a ride to the park and ride in order to start their day. And especially for some of us who leave early, in the 5 and 6 a.m. hours. Thank you for listening.
definitely, thank you for your comment. We can circle back with the city to see if there's anything that can be done on those side streets to accommodate, especially considering the kind of reconfiguration, if there's any ability for those to be designed in still, if there's like a bus pullout area or even a low traffic side street that we can still serve that downtown area specifically. And to your comment on, whether or not Sam's Club itself is endorsing the parking, we've been told if parking is an absolute necessity for the route use, to probably use the West Mesa Park and Ride facility. That was a suggestion that we were provided by both the town of Gilbert and the city of Mesa.
Okay, so if I'm understanding right, you're actually saying that if we need to park, we shouldn't even use the downtown Gilbert area. We should drive ourselves to the Mesa park and ride. Am I understanding that right?
That's what we've been told by the cities.
From a logistics point for people, that makes no sense. And I can tell you just from the bus riders we all ride the same day, same time, and everyone's been talking about this, how disappointed and frustrated people are over even the change up to Sam's Club. But for us to not have a parking option, there's really no more route. So I guess why is the route staying? How do you expect people to get to the Sam's Club location? Will Sam's Club be removing our vehicles?
Not that I know of. We've just been told for an official standpoint, because of the agreements that, we do or don't have, that the town essentially directed us to have the cars officially parking at the West Mesa Park and Ride.
Okay,
But
so
we can circle back with them on at least the downtown service within that area, but that also,
yeah,
probably be parking for those options as well.
so that needs to be addressed. So if I can make that a formal request too, that you have people who actually park their vehicles, that's the point of a park and ride. They park their vehicles in downtown Gilbert so they can take this bus service. Where are they all supposed to go? Driving to the Mesa one is 5-6 miles, I'm guessing. Like that's a long way for people who are trying to help the environment or trying to save money by not driving their vehicle to downtown. It's not really a convenience of any kind if you're making that whole route disappear. And there are plenty of people who still ride. I know it's not as frequent. You know, the number of routes are now only 3 instead of how it used to be at 7. So I didn't even realize that was being recommended. So, and also it sounds like the town has made up their mind. So I'm curious if these comments and this feedback is actually going to be considered. Do you know if there's a meeting for the town of Gilbert to consider these things, or is it already been decided?
I believe there should be meetings going forward for the downtown revitalization for more public comment, but we will definitely be passing this on to the town.
Is there anyone from the town on this call tonight?
There's not currently. We did have them plan to attend. Unfortunately, they weren't able to.
Disappointing too. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for your information.
And we'll definitely be sure to follow up with them. And if you have contact information that you'd like us to pass on to the town to get their feedback specifically on this, we can definitely accommodate that as well. But at the very least, I'll be passing this commentary on to them because we know it is quite an inconvenience and a rather significant change from the one park and ride from the 2 park and rides to the 1 now essentially official park and ride.
So just as an FYI, I'm looking at the Town of Gilbert calendar, public calendar, and there is a town council regular meeting on December 17th at 6:30. They did have a redevelopment commission meeting, which I'm not sure is necessarily related, but that one was on December 18th, but it looks like it was canceled. But December 17th might be a good opportunity for you to go to the council meeting and let them know. All right, I have comments from Michael. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
And I'm here with my wife, Kelly, actually, too. And we actually, I think we just want to kind of mirror and reiterate exactly what Matt said. Those are all our feelings. My wife works downtown, and the job that she took working downtown was based on the pickup and the 531 Express that runs out of Gilbert. And this really kind of throws a monkey wrench into everything as far as her job is concerned. And like Matt said, getting to the Mesa PNR from where we're at in Gilbert at that time in the morning is going to really be a game changer. And just we're kind of floored at the decision to cut this out and make the pickup at the in front of the Sam's Club, which is literally nothing but a bench and no protection, no place to park your vehicle. Yeah, with a pony wall, it's a game changer. Like I said, we were wondering what would make Valley Metro make these kind of changes, and it sounds to me like you guys are dealing with requests from the town of Gilbert. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're essentially trying to accommodate their redevelopment, and we have proposed a couple of similar routing changes that retained it both in the downtown and a little bit south. But I think this, essentially was the option that was chosen. Those were, I don't believe, they were either revenue neutral or cost a little bit more revenue. But this was essentially the option that was chosen, just because we couldn't get that real estate in downtown anymore.
Well, I guess what Matt said, if there was a way to accommodate a pickup within that same general area that had some sort of parking available, because like exactly what he was talking about, we've had these exact same concerns, and I've got to say that we've talked to people that were riding the bus. Many of them are completely unaware of this change, but most of the people that are getting on that bus in the morning are at that original stop. And just in discussions that we've had within the last week, many of them, most of them, do not know that this change is coming. They announced it on the bus, the changes are coming, but a lot of people are reading or have earbuds in or doing other things, talking on the phone. And the signage that was out front.
Everyone that I talked to on the bus, someone knew.
I think we might have lost your audio if you're still talking there.
Yeah, no, we're still talking. Can you hear us?
Now I can.
Okay, okay. I guess what my wife was saying was that the people that she had talked to on the bus about these changes within the last couple of weeks were completely unaware that this was happening. And there was a sandwich board that was placed down at the bus drop off and pickup that was literally just kind of leaning up against one of the walls, and nobody there saw it and nobody was aware of this. So most of the people that are getting on these buses in the morning are completely unaware that this is happening.
Okay. Well, we can do a little bit more of a push at that park and ride, especially to make people aware that this is happening. So probably just going out there, in the morning, or alternatively downtown in the afternoon to the pickup stops where those folks that we see for the ridership of that route to get a little bit more awareness of what is proposed, at least.
Yeah, well, I don't know how long people have to comment, but the bus stops about, I don't know, 30 or 40 feet away from where that sandwich sign was. And the people getting on and off that bus, there was no way that they were ever really going to see that unless somebody unlocks it from the lock that they have on it and actually sets it in front of the entrance and exit to the bus so people can actually know what's going on. Like I said, nobody that we talked to had any idea that this was actually happening. And I'm not saying that's your fault. I'm just saying that most people are unaware, and it's going to really have a huge effect, because, like I said, the majority of people that get on that bus and that use it for the 531 Express in the morning load up at that Gilbert Park and Ride and get off at that Gilbert Park and Ride. And, at least anywhere from, 6 to 14 or 15 people when I take my wife down there in the morning are getting on and off the bus there. And that's at least half of what everybody is, or at least half of the amount of people that are on the bus. And so I don't know, it just, and the Mesa Park and Ride, I mean, that's a huge drive in the morning for people that are here in this local area or coming, from further out where we're at.
Thank you for that. I will make sure that the town is hearing this as well, and we'll be sure to get out either downtown or at the Gilbert Park and Ride, or both, to catch those riders and maybe just get on the bus to let them know, essentially, about the proposed change, to get that feedback.
Okay.
So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
I have a question. If you can hear me, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
So the people that have not heard of this change, and anybody, I mean, I don't really know a lot of people on the bus, but I do see regulars. Literally none of them knew. So in that event that this just ceases to exist, how would you let those people know that rode the bus? And I mean, I'm saying if the proposed changes go through and all of a sudden they stop, then how does that message get to people?
That would be a combination of signs at the stops, announcements on the bus, and
Well, those things aren't working now.
yeah, I was gonna say, from the sounds of it, probably some more in-person outreach, essentially, to make sure that the message is pushed out.
I mean, obviously we're not in favor of it, but the people that I talk to seem to be completely, just shocked by it. So, you know, I think it's probably, you know, I haven't been doing it that long, but as Michael said, I, you know, took the job on the condition that I could ride the bus. So anyways, it's just inconvenient for us, and it's just such a nice, you know, in the heat of summer, that stop at Houston and Gilbert is not going to offer any relief from the heat.
Or even I mean, there's a possibility that, I don't know if Sam's Club is even gonna let people park in their parking lot, and I don't know that people want to do that anyway.
Also, you know, it should be noted that if you go through and a larger amount of people park at Sam's Club, then that might get some attention. Then what? From Sam's Club, I mean, you know, if there's a large number of people, I know it's a big place, but that might get some attention. And then what are people supposed to do?
Yeah. Well, there's always an option to potentially do an access agreement if it does become problematic for folks, but obviously we don't want anything to escalate in terms of people's property being moved or removed based on anything before that happens. So again, we'll definitely be sure to bring the town into this and express the concerns of folks.
And Shannon mentioned December 17th town hall meeting. Is it specifically going to be discussed there? Do you know?
I don't know that this specifically will be discussed, but possibly
so-
the downtown redevelopment could be discussed, which this is related to.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess that's our input. I mean, we pretty much were going to say everything that Matt said earlier. And he,
literally were. I mean, we are the rare people, I guess, that got online. In fact, I'm the one who told Michael, listen, they're saying this on the bus. Can you look it up? And that's the only reason we knew. Otherwise, you know.
Yeah, I mean, most people are, every other writer that she talked to did not know that this was happening, even though it's been announced that changes were coming. But I think most people just go on about their day and don't really pay attention to whatever comes over the speakers. But this is going to be huge for quite a few people here. Just FYI.
In the event that it does get passed, what period of time are we talking about before the bus stop goes away?
If it did go into effect, it would be the last Monday in April.
So April 28th, as it said on the website.
April, yep.
These things usually take longer. I mean,
So we usually have about a 6-month or so lead period, and it includes public outreach like this and the public hearing. And then we go back and kind of talk to the cities about what we've heard as well, because they do have quite a say in terms of, especially in this case, what the land uses will allow and also what their budgets will allow. But I think it sounds like there's quite a bit of resistance to this, not only in this
I can
forum.
guarantee you, interrupting, I can guarantee you that had more people known about this, there would be more than 2 people on this call.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I didn't know that you could participate in this until I got home from work on Tuesday. Otherwise, I would have told people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if they can find a spot in Gilbert where you could park your car that is protected and still pick people up, it doesn't have to be as large of a space as it is now, because when we go down there, there's anywhere from, I don't know, 10 to maybe 30 cars parked. But and I understand that that's a very large space that could accommodate a lot more vehicles. But the people that do use that bus stop and that covered parking, that's going to be a pretty huge deal.
Yeah, so to the first point on folks not being aware of this specific hearing, I definitely would ask that if anybody has any input to either email us or give us a call at the email or the call line that's listed here. And this is being recorded for folks that would like to, take a look at it. And obviously the email address and the phone number will be on our website for these April service changes. And I think to your second point on even accommodating a smaller space. That was something that we had discussed with the town. Because as you know, it's kind of like a two triangle setup that they have at that park and ride to even retain one of those.
Right.
Yeah.
But that was not accepted as well.
Mm.
So I think there's probably still some decisions possibly that need to be made on the downtown revitalization. So we will discuss, with them any kind of leeway that we can get in terms of any kind of, right of way or parking potentially for folks, even to retain, a fraction of what's there now.
Yeah, fraction. Okay, too. But if people wanted to get a transcript of this, would they email input@valleymetro.org?
The transcript will be posted on the service changes page. It'll just be a PDF that you'll be able to pull up.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, I think that's everything. That's all our
Thank
input.
you.
Thank you so
for
much.
listening.
Thank you. Yeah, and we apologize for the inconvenience. And as mentioned, I hoped to have somebody from the town here today, but unfortunately that we weren't able to get them here. But I'll definitely be able to circle back with them tomorrow morning and just discuss this with them.
Okay. And I hope the message is not that there were two people on the phone opposed, rather than we are not getting the message out and there are other people that are opposed and concerned, and we at least have to give them a fair shake.
Definitely agree with that.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
And we also have a survey option as well for folks, so they can either email, do the survey, or give us a call as well. And we're sharing that as well with the town to let them know.
Thank you.
And that's on your website too?
Yes, it'll be on the website. If you just Google Valley Metro April service changes, this should come up, I believe.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, and then just a couple of comments from Matt. He mentions that he is currently riding the 531 bus right now, and no one on the bus knew about the virtual meeting. He also asked for a contact name for a Gilbert employee so they can reach out directly, and I will pull that up momentarily and put that in the chat for you. Just 1 second. If anyone else has any questions. Michael, go ahead.
Yes, my name is Michael Denblaker. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. I'm not going to reiterate what everyone said. I did submit my survey as well as my written email, just with my, I guess, lack of support for this motion. I don't see any safety benefit. In fact, I see more of a safety concern of moving this bus stop up to Houston. And I think that was mentioned by one of the previous speakers as well. I don't see the economic or safety benefits that this provides to the residents and the commuters and the businesses in that area. So I just wanted to reiterate what the others said, and just again express my disappointment in this decision and proposal.
Thank you for letting us know that, and we will also try to be aware of the safety implications of that as well. I think that they might be similar to what the first gentleman had mentioned about certain issues with lighting and pavement, but there may be some others as well. I know that the heat was mentioned as well with the shelter element or the lack thereof.
Please take a look at ADA compliance too, because I don't know if there's an ADA compliant parking spot anywhere in the vicinity of this where it is at the park and ride as well.
If there are any other questions, feel free to raise your hand or type them in the chat and I can read them on your behalf. Since there don't seem to be any more questions or comments, we will go ahead and wrap it up. I mentioned earlier that a transcript and recording of this meeting will be posted on our website. If you do have any further questions or comments about this meeting or any of the changes, or just general questions and comments, please feel free to reach out via the input@valleymetro.org or the public input voicemail. And with that, have a good evening.
Thank you all.